I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV. If your child had a cough, she'd get just what the doctor orders.
You know what? I make a lot more money if I take this kid's tonsils out.
I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV.
If there's a blue pill and a red pill, and the blue pill is half the price of the red pill and works just as well.
I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV.
I'd say it's ironic if you take somebody who's doing their best to get the world ready and, putting, in my case, billions of dollars into these tools for infectious diseases and really trying to solve broadly infectious diseases, including those that can cause pandemics.
I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV.
How do people synthesize all this information in order to make the right decisions? How do they know who to trust?
Mo, that's a good question, and it's difficult, to give you a definitive answer, except that for the most part, I believe, for the most part, you can trust respected medical authorities. I believe I'm one of them, so I think you can trust me.
Good morning, sunshine. Shut up.
Mom.
Morning, sunshine.
Shut up.
Mom. You can't be nice. You're fat. You're stupid. Moron. Idiots. Shut up. Why be a doctor?
I love my friends 'cause they got no standards, morals are ethics in the best bar, bragging rights. We take a plane to a foreign country loaded with tools and it won't up white lies. Hey. Trust me, I'm a doctor. Trust me, I'm a doctor. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing.
I'm not a doctor, as you possibly have found out. I'm not a doctor, but I'm a person with common sense. I'm not a doctor, but I have common sense. There are promising therapies. And that would be it's called Remdesivir. I don't want to get anybody overly excited, but I'm very excited by that. So you have Remdesivir, and you have chloroquine, and some people would add to it hydroxychloroquine.
That's a drug that the president has directed us to take a closer look at. We want to do that in the setting of a clinical trial, a large, pragmatic clinical trial.
And I say, try it.
The first ever prescription depressant hit the shelves today. Approved by the FDA last month, Despondex is intended as a treatment for the approximately 20 million Americans who are insufferably cheery. Tests prove the drug is effective at reducing a range of symptoms, from squealing loudly when a friend calls to use of the phrase cool beans and excessive hugging. Dr. Alman Way calls the drug a huge step forward in the battle against exuberance.
If you're in a good mood every so often, well, that's fine, that's normal. This is for those that have a persistent positive outlook on life.
Eva Henry of New Haven, Connecticut began participating in a clinical trial of Despondex 6 weeks ago.
I was always telling people how cute their outfits were and bringing them little gifts. I'd beam at anyone who made eye contact with me. I didn't realize life didn't have to be like that.
Eva said she never knew how her annoyingly chipper attitude was affecting those around her.
Over and over again, I'd ask Jeff to ride his bike down to the botanical garden with me. No matter how many times he said no.
And she was always smiling, but I didn't know what to do to help her.
I used to think, why am I the only one trying to set up single friends with each other? And now I realize it. I was sick. I needed treatment.
Eva says the drug may have saved their marriage.
Now Jeff and I can just waste a night sitting on the couch, watching a TV show neither of us enjoy. Like a regular couple.
Not everyone is convinced that Despondex is the cure-all for perkiness, however. In this week's Time magazine, Michael Polosik of UCLA argues that many patients get similar results from natural remedies, something as simple as a diet of corn syrup and white bread and a total lack of exercise. But Dr. Way disagrees.
We have to erase the stigma attached with getting chirpy people help, real medical help. I mean, do you know what it's like to be around these people? It's pretty annoying.
Doctors estimate the new drug could reduce the number of costume or theme parties in the U.S. by up to 40%.
Take it. I really think they should take it. In fact, I might do it anyway. I may take it. I've seen things that I sort of like, so what do I know? I'm not a doctor. I'm not acting as a doctor. I'm saying, do what you want. Hydroxychloroquine and the Z-Pak, I think, is a combination probably is looking very, very good.
I'm not totally sure what the president was referring to. If you really want to definitively know if something works, that you've got to do the kind of trial that you get the good information.
Why should we be testing it in a test tube for a year and a half when we have thousands of people that are very sick? The vaccine does have to be tested for a long period of time because you can't give, thousands, millions of people a vaccine and it turns out to be dangerous. It's tested in the sense that you know it doesn't kill you.
What we don't know is when you put it in the context of another disease, whether it's safe. Fundamentally, I think it probably is going to be safe, but I like to prove things first.
I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying we hear great results. I really think it's a great thing to try, just based on what I know. Again, I'm not a doctor. And zinc, they say zinc. You should add zinc. So you add the zinc.
Dr. Fauci said there is no magic drug for coronavirus right now, which you would agree.
I disagree. Maybe and maybe not. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I feel good about it.
Sexy and smart. Fecal smear. We're the 5 minutes up. Don't worry. Doesn't hurt.
I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV.
Maybe you're better off not having the surgery, but taking the painkiller.
In our interconnected world, if people in low and middle income countries miss out on vaccines, the virus will continue to spread and the economic recovery globally will be delayed. Equitable access is in the national interest of each and every country.
But this also means if we have a vaccine, we should have a common approach to give a fair share to everyone so that the most vulnerable groups, the frontline workers and the healthcare workers, for example, are the ones who get the vaccine first.
We're donating another $70 million to fight COVID-19. $50 million of that will be for buying vaccine doses for low-income countries, and another $20 million will be for researching even further and new vaccines altogether.
Il nous faut nous assurer que les conditions réglementaires et politiques sont toutes réunies pour un accès le plus large et rapide possible à ces produits, tout en respectant les standards internationaux de qualité. C'est pourquoi la France propose que puisse être rapidement adoptée une charte d'ACTA qui réaffirme ces grands principes. Partager la connaissance, soutenir les systèmes de santé, avoir des produits rapidement accessibles.
That's all it is, just a feeling. I'm a smart guy. I feel good about it. I like this stuff. I really get it. People are surprised that I understand it. When somebody is very sick, they go to a doctor, go to a hospital, they record it, they're very sick, and then they live or they don't live. The people that are sick are going to a doctor or they're going someplace and they're going to say, make me better. Every one of these doctors said, how do you know so much about this? When you look at these hospitals, the amount that they order, you almost say, how could they possibly use so much, whether it's masks or the protective gear? Why aren't they able to use that mask a second, third, fourth time? If you take a solid flu vaccine, you don't think that would have an impact or much of an impact on corona? No. Probably not.
Hello, America! Specifically, hello to the 90% of America with health insurance. The other 33 million of you, well, hit the bricks. I'll wait. Hi, the rest of you. I'm Roger, and I believe you're entitled to the health care that you need, or perhaps the health care you can afford. That's why I founded Horton Pharmaceuticals, a company dedicated to holding drug patents. Our drug company gains patents by hiring the smartest people in the world and giving them anything they need to develop the latest, most effective, most cutting-edge business deals. Deals to buy existing drug patents. You are the best, Dirk. Dirk's an attorney. Anyway, after we spend money advertising the drugs we patented and other money getting doctors to prescribe our drug and other money lobbying in Washington, We spend, the rest of it on research. And don't get me wrong, it costs billions of dollars and years and effort to develop just one new drug. But believe me, we've got many, many more billions than that. That lobbying money brings us $30 billion every year that used to be your taxes. Your taxes. I know this sounds complicated, so just think of it like this. Oh, hey. We also spend $24 billion in countless sales babe hours every year marketing our drugs to your doctor. And your doctor is the one who needs medical help. They're stressed out by school debt and malpractice insurance premiums, costing each of them millions. Maybe that stress is why 53% of doctors are obese, or why 1 in 6 surgeons has an alcohol problem, or why becoming a physician more than doubles the chances someone will commit suicide. Who can blame those emo nerds for taking the bait when drug companies mismarket a drug or two here or there, causing tens of billions of annual dollars in avoidable mishaps and deaths? But don't worry. Our drug company cares about keeping you alive just as much as you care, which is basically you don't. 10% of you lie to your doctor about your smoking habit. 20% of ER patients are there to score painkillers that we make. And doctors trained to figure out how you're lying to them, not if, because when it comes to being honest with a medical professional, millions of you would literally rather die. By the way, my vertebrae hurt.
There's a study out there that says people that have lupus haven't been catching this virus. No, maybe it's true, maybe it's not.
Young people seem to be, you can't say immune to it, but they're certainly, the numbers are very small.
We're ordering a lot of supplies. We're ordering a lot of different elements of medical.
I think they're going to start the process of giving the drug through mouth. We're going to continue. It's going to disappear. One day it's like a miracle. It will disappear. And from our shores, it could get worse before it gets better. It could maybe go away. We'll see what happens. Nobody really knows. Don't forget the doctors. If it were up to the doctors, they may say, let's keep it shut down. Let's shut down the entire world.
Oh no! The Democrat proposed bill H.R. 6666
That means the full power and strength of the military.
I'm just an average man with an average life. Put on my mask to drive. Hell, I'm just being nice. They won't leave me alone, even in my safe space home. Voice at my door says, you're in the COVID zone, and the contact tracers, they're always watching me. Goodbye to privacy, oh no. And now our neighbors act like the KGB, not very neighborly. I watch the news at night and lock my door with fright. People in a van I'm trying to avoid. Am I under surveillance or am I just paranoid? In the parking lot frightened, I'm afraid to go in there. They might interrogate me or want samples of my hair. Apps that are tracking me installed on my phone. Vaccinate and chip me and send me back home. That's why I just don't want them injecting me. Psychotic pharmacy, oh no, I won't comply with Nancy Pelosi. Total hypocrisy.
A new study finds Democrat officials may be using so-called contact tracing to affect the outcome of this year's elections.
Oh no!
An army of contact tracing
To stalk citizens,
track down people.
search their homes.
It is for the public good.
some people.
So remember, until you die, or lose insurance, or need something we're pricing you out of, buy my drugs. Drugs that I call pharmaceuticals, so it sounds less like I deal drugs for a living, which technically is exactly what I do. I deal drugs.
Hello, I'm Raymond, and I'm here to tell you about my pharmaceutical company.
This is Horton Turf.
Contact with a person who's become infected.
I don't want to go anywhere. The purge is happening. Is that tower microwaving me? There's a chip in me. They've subpoenaed my ISP. Who? The CDC. Operation Warp Speed makes no sense to me. Unsafe technology. Not in my country. No police state for me. My choice, my body. Bill Gates and Soros, they want technocracy. Nightmare for you and me. The contact tracers, they're coming down the street. Just don't come visit me. The contact tracers, they're apprehending me. Throw me in quarantine. The contact tracers, now they're injecting me. No herd immunity.
We need more contact tracers than before.
Oh no.